read some poems and then we can all dance.
Great.
Woo! Okay. I'm gonna read 3 poems. I haven't
Yeah.
read them in a while, so it might sound terrible.
Do it. Never.
First one's called Resemblance. Jennifer had hair like mine before she burnt and blued it, and so we sat together, feeling the sameness beside my pale brother. She burnt and blued it, had 2 even lighter-skinned babies, the same beside my pale brother, and much like my mother, who had 2 light-skinned babies, who then sat with their cousins, much like their mother, who told them Aunt Teresa died in a fire. We then sat with our cousins and compared hair and knuckles and told them Teresa died in a rope. Teresa had the most beautiful black velvet skin. We compared hair and knuckles like the rope which tugged Teresa. Teresa had the most beautiful black velvet skin. Natasha's kinky hair was the envy of us all. Like the rope which tugged Teresa, our hands always gently in her scalp, Natasha's kinky hair was the envy of us all. Her hair says, I belong, like a little girl should. Always gently in her scalp, those bright plastic hair baubles, the ones that say, I belong, like a little girl should. But Natasha liked to touch my hair. Those bright plastic hair baubles never sat right in my curls, but Natasha liked to touch my hair, the hair of her white cousin. I never sat right in my curls. Jennifer had hair like mine, the hair of her white cousin, and so we sat together, feeling. This is empathy.
Woo! Yeah, Rachel.
Empathy. People are useless unless they are full, like a coffee can, rim all busted with black grounds, bursting and shouting, can't be afraid to jump out the can, man.
Yeah.
Skins is bullshit unless they got maps in it, all up on it, up inside it, maps that speak up, veins that spell black, palms that spell white, skin that spells all is well. Names are useless unless heaved on like a truckload. Names take root like rust, yellowing the legs, wash the dust off my hips and in my given name. People is useless unless they a fully capped bottle of black burgundy cracked on my head, or lemons on a stoop, or white coconut meat. Empathy is bullshit because pity. Do I look like pity today, bottomed out, stale, and sunny in this eternal black winter? Real estate is bullshit. As much as me or you, I've never owned any molecule or any implication of my identity. 150 years ago, I was real estate too. Okay. This one is hard to read, so I apologize for whatever happens. It's called Talk About Skirting the Issue, and I think we can all guess what the issue is. Talk is cheapest on Mondays, bites down hard on the nostrils in January. Cheaper he talks, quicker I slip on the ice, excuse to check out his biceps. Cheap dinner, kid gets blonder, burgers and fries and eggs a la sunrise. Sex is cheap when he don't pay for no baby poppers, and cheaper and cheaper on Mondays. Talk about pink nipples, talk about there's a little black spot on the sun today. Talk shop on Tuesdays. Gilmore Girls, 8 to 7 Central. 2 white women I'd like to talk to. Talk voice, talk vocabulary, talk brains and refined sugar. Talk about the coffee. Talk red wine. Talk in rocking chairs. Talk in huffs of mulled cider. Talk red wine and horn-rimmed glassy huffed air. Talk about gracing the white paint chips on the furnace with my presence. Talk about soaked, salty cheeks. Talk red wine and politics, talk at the table, talk on the kitchen counter, talk and howl like a real girl. Tick-tock, Hump days are for humping and being in the middle of things. Talk about peanut butter goes to the beach. Talk in the sun. Talk about pink skin fresh like a peach. Talk about it never crisps or rips. Or talk about never dropping peels on the sand. Talk about an uh-oh Oreo. Talk about a peanut butter cup. Talk about knowing, about not knowing, what it really means to really be something, to really fit in, to really be in a hole, to fit into a hole, really a home, really? Talk about is everybody behind bars but me? Talk about what is it? What is it? What it is? Talk about what we know, what it ain't. Excuse me, talk about what it isn't, what it aren't, what we aren't. I are outdated, isn't I what it is? Talk about Wednesdays. Talk to the hand. Talk my hands out of these tar cracks. Talk about an elbow here and an elbow there. Talk about a raisin in the rain. Talk about Thursdays. Talk about the tears of God or something. Talk about diva curls. Talk about screaming, about kink, 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 all day and all of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Talk me blue in the face. Talk me Friday. Talk me my gray daddy in his gene pool. Talk me how he paddled along the Charles with his painter line dipping right into the water, striped with gout and addiction and diabetes and such. Talk about a good sense of humor. Talk about who fell in the river and came out brown. Talk about who didn't. Talk about drink brown liquor, never been sicker. Talk behind my back. Talk about or don't talk at all. Talk like a whiter shade of pale. Talk like poets do, like lovers do, like lovers do. Ooh, ooh, talk to me. All you do to me is talk, talk. Woo!